Heyo everyone, it is Loki Monster here, and today's update we have brand new starter class statues. We have the return of Friday the 13th with some surprise new items. There is also some new boss statues that have been added, but the only one we've confirmed so far is Noxus. So we're going to come over here and see Dottie on the bridge. And right here we have the Doom Capes. Now, yes, these are a little costly at 1,000 DC, but they are very cool. I'd stop moving here for a second. You can see them. They actually move in the wind while you're standing still. So the first one has a collar that goes up, and the second one here does not have that. So we also have, for Friday the 13th, anyone who is new, we have the Fiend Trade items that were, this was the last trade we had, and you can get stuff by collecting materials from the Fiend Trade to craft this stuff. So you can check all of that out. We also have for DC the Fiend Trade pets, and nowadays the rate things cost, a Fiend Trade pets at $450. They're actually a pretty good bargain nowadays. So all of the trades are available here. So if you want any of those, you can check them out. We also have camp souvenirs. Now these are just a few oddball items that are also for DC, but there's some fun stuff. So we just click on the crystal to go to camp. And why is Yar Har Har still here? Oh, you know what? Last time it was Friday the 13th, it was the Pirate versus Ninja War, and so they put her here, but she's not normally supposed to be here. So that is old, but if you're new to the game, you definitely want to check that out, the Pirate vs. Ninja War. So you can get everything here as well as Dottie that you could get in town. So you can get the Doom Capes and the Fiend Trade stuff and the souvenirs. But we also have some crafting shops here as well. There's two different ones. They're going to get you gear, and I see they changed some of the backs to accessories. That's kind of neat. And of course, there's also the trade crafting as well. You can check all this out yourself. I must have 8 videos on Friday the 13th or more, because it comes back several times a year sometimes. So this year it only comes back once. So what you want to do is you want to kill mobs and the trades for the materials. Now these guys also drop camp t-shirts and shoes. Now the trades spawn over by that tree there, over by these rocks right here. So right there, and now over here by the cabin as well. So people, when they're calling them out, will say tree over by the tree, or lake or rock, or cabin or fire, and this one, just people always just call it hill. So you will find trade in one of those 4 locations when he spawns. We also have Ace, who also has more camping stuff, and his buddy here, Zip, who does, they used to be a war here, but all that's gone now. And so we're just trying to fry me with a dragon. You'll also see there is a big ship out there behind them in the water. Now that is also a dungeon. And there is another dungeon over here, the Flechette dungeon. Now for the Strange dungeon, you're going to have to find the lost key, which is in the water in the lake. So the Flechette dungeon is the door with the scratches on it here. You will have to have played through the whole storyline in order to come here, and there is a storyline here as well. But once you finish the storyline, you have the Flechette crafts here, and you get all the materials from the dungeon. Now what you do is you lie down on the bed and you go to sleep. We have one dungeon, the Nightmare Labyrinth. Now this is really only good for materials for crafting, but it's a lot easier. And then we have the challenge dungeon, Flechette's Revenge, and this is the only one you can get the Chibi Flechette, and it is a drop here, as well as the 8-legged nightmare, which is a temporary travel form of a big spider that's in that dungeon. Now we are heading to Battleon and the class trainers, and we are going to zip up the stairs here, because the first one we want to see for the starter class is Metera. So under the rogue class gear, you'll now find the Expert Rogue Stone male statues and female statues, as well as the statues that are real life color. Now, these cost class tokens, and they do have requirements. Now, I believe what they said, and it doesn't actually say the requirements here, that the Expert ones for the stone would be level 25. For the purple ones, the colored ones, you have to have achieved level 50. And as you can see, they are actually stackable, and you can purchase them with your class tokens from doing your class dailies here, which is really cool. And they're fairly cheap, 10 class tokens a day, and that's really cool. They stack all the way to 5,000. That isn't bad at all. Now, the thing is, they said there were going to be legendary versions at 75 and 100, and most of my starter classes aren't at 100, but they are over 75, and they didn't release the legendary ones, apparently, but that would be the legendary set that you earn, that the statues would be wearing those. So hopefully those are to come still, and you can purchase them. And yeah, okay, you might be wondering how I have so many class tokens. It's because I do my class training every single day. And so we also have, it's all the starter classes. So we have the rogue, and here's the healer one. I really like the healer one. It's kind of got that bendy cape. And there's like the female. And then we have the colored ones. They're very cool. So I imagine that the weapons will match too, because the healer legendary weapon changes. That'd be really interesting to see. I really thought they would have at least them all done, but they do get 8 of them. 8? Well, 4 of the classes for 4 statues. That's 16 statues in game for the class training. So there are the warrior ones. I kind of like that stance. And then the warrior female. And then finally, the last one we have is the mage one here. And here they are here. There is the male stone. I kind of wish they did that stance where they kind of spread their legs apart like they're doing the big ultimate, but that's not a bad stance at all. So we have all of those statues, but that's not it for statues in the game. And there is a possibility that there may be, I forgot to say, Friday the 13th trouble. Now, we do not know anything about it because, like I said, nobody posted anything in the news. But we are heading to the Isle of Doomwood and to Noxus Chamber, because this is one we do actually know there is a statue that is dropping. So we just want to enter the Return of Noxus dungeon. I'm just going to run it private and unscaled, of course, because you don't want to prolong this any more than you want. So this is the stone version. Now, this one was confirmed dropped by a player. Now, there should also be a colored one. And as you can see, I am level 50, right? It will be a little harder to do this at a lower level than doing it this speed, but honestly, this entire run took me, I think, 45 seconds from entering to end, so you can grind them fairly fast. Don't forget to wait for the chest to drop before you exit the dungeon. Apparently, it's coming out a little slower. I want to thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you next time, and a huge happy birthday to my good friend Gold Raven, and happy Independence Day, Philippines. Bye-bye.